The situation in Greenland is clearly a wake-up call for all the Europeans. And let me tell you very directly that you are not alone. And when a strategic message is sent to you, I want just for you to know that it's clearly perceived by the Europeans as targeting a European land. And this flag you have here is our common flag. And we know our common values. And we know our long-standing choices. And this is why it's very important for French people and all the European people to convey very clearly this message of solidarity and the fact that we stand with you, now, for today, and for tomorrow.
If treaties are U.S. law, and if the president breaks the NATO treaty without leaving it first, he technically broke federal law. That failure can constitute high crimes and misdemeanors. I quote, "Treaties are U.S. law according to the Supremacy Clause in the Constitution, but the president does have universal authority over foreign relations, creating ambiguity when a president might breach a treaty without formal withdrawal, potentially triggering impeachment for violating federal law. However, recent congressional action, such as the 2024 NDAA attempts to acquire Congress to approve and Senate approval for NATO withdrawal, adding a layer of statutory restriction on presidential power. The 2024 National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, significantly strengthened U.S. commitment to NATO by including the NATO Support Act provisions, notably Section 1250A, which blocks universal U.S. withdrawal from the North Atlantic Treaty without Senate approval or an act of Congress." End of quote. Due to the 2024 National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA, and its NATO Support Act provision, the president could no longer unilaterally pull the U.S. out of NATO and sever the binding treaties standing in U.S. law. Which means, if Trump attacks Greenland and Denmark, a NATO-protected ally, he broke federal law. As a result, the president is obligated by multiple federal statutes and treaties to respect NATO commitments. Breaking them by attacking a NATO ally, which would make the Mutual Defense Clause basically obsolete, thus de facto withdrawing the U.S. from the alliance, would be a clear and irrefutable violation of the law. There is no way around it. An unprovoked military action against Greenland without Congress pulling the U.S. out of NATO first is illegal for the Trump administration to do.